Hello and welcome to The Sensational Life with Bibic. I'm Abby.
And I'm Natalie.
And we are developmental therapists at Bibic.
Each week we're going to dive into the many layers of life with honesty, heart and a little bit of humour, because let's face it, navigating the world with additional needs can be tough, but it also can be empowering, inspiring and yes, a little bit sensational.
Bibic is a national charity that supports many individuals with neurological or developmental challenges, and this podcast is our way of bringing support, tips and real stories straight to you.
This season we're talking all things education, from navigating the classroom with confidence, discovering learning strategies, we're unpacking it all with some great guests too. So whether you're a parent, a teacher or someone that just wants to better understand how to support the SEND community, you're in the right place.
So grab a cuppa, get comfy and let's make the world a little more inclusive, one episode at a time. Hello, welcome Tom to our podcast. For our listeners, Tom is one of our youth ambassadors for Bibic, and he has very kindly said that he would join us on our podcast today. So Tom, do you want to share a little bit about yourself, who you are, with our listeners?
Of course. So hi everyone. My name's Tom. As mentioned, I am Bibic's first youth ambassador, and I think what stood out to me and why I do this is because I want to give back to all the doctors and the system and everything of the sort that helped me through a very difficult period in my life. So for a little bit of background about me, I have minor cerebral palsy. I was lucky enough to get an operation called SDR in 2014, which effectively changed my life. So I went from, having kind of ballerina feet, as I used to call them, to going flat, and I've been on a journey of recovery ever since, which is obviously quite something, to put it alongside academia and when you don't quite know what your body's planning to do. But I've come out the other side of it, and I'm very grateful for that. I've ended up at the University of Exeter studying history, and I'm in my final year.
Are you enjoying it, Africa?
Oh yeah, it's so great. If I could promote it even more, I would.
Because you've just gone back into your, I always forget, is it third year?
Yes, final year. So everything's a bit manic, but it doesn't detract from the enjoyment, thankfully.
Still surviving on super noodles?
I've got past those, thank God. Yeah, no, we're now on to accidentally blowing packets of rice up in the microwave. So that's peak student living, that is.
I don't know, I blew up an egg in the work microwave, so...
Oh, that is impressive.
You did, I remember that. You also spilled soup everywhere in there.
Anyway, so... When school ended, what was the transition like for you? Because I know you were saying about sort of going through and experiencing sort of the challenges, but also sort of the strengths that came from sort of dealing with your difficulties and things like that. So what was it like going from school to college into university? Because they're all so different as well, and they all expect so much different things from you as well.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, at primary school, they were saying how there would be all these big, great expectations, and if you didn't do X and Y, like, for example, getting changed really quickly for PE, then, you won't thrive at secondary school if you can't do things like that. So it's kind of like there was a lot of pressure on me to kind of turn it round and fit into this new environment quite quickly from primary into secondary school. I think the jump from secondary school into uni, I was lucky enough so that my secondary school did me through sixth form as well, so I didn't have to go through that change. But I think going from secondary school to uni, I think the thing that stands out is how comfortable school is, how comfortable
Yeah.
school is. And like the next step, it's like, oh no, what if I don't, get the grades that I need, pass this exam that I need? Like, it's terrifying. And I think that's a pretty universal experience. But one that might not be quite as universal is, going to an open day for X, Y, or Z and feeling like you have to fit in again and feeling like you've got 1,000,001 prying eyes on you just because you know that you're different. So the transition can feel quite overwhelming because I think within my mind, everyone wants to look at me because I'm different. But I think I'm only just getting to the point now where I'm learning to overcome that and
Yeah.
learning to kind of become myself. And it's also like when you do transition into a new place, you've got so used to asking the same people what they expect of you from the disability. So it's like there are some people, credit to them, that really want to help out. One thing I find, I don't know if people could relate to this, but I don't like bringing attention to my disability at the best of times. So when I say, for example, fall over and a load of people swarm me,
Yeah.
those that don't know me, that could be really awkward, and that makes it kind of like that makes transition slightly harder. So it's like you've got to go through an extra step, or when you're introducing yourself to new people, it's kind of like, yeah, that's the elephant in the room to have to get out the way. And it's not easy. I don't think there's any particular way of going about it. I think it just comes with time. Um, but you know, I think nerves come with everyone. It just gets heightened by it all, to be honest.
Yeah.
No, so I'm so pleased you shared that because I think it's quite a topic in a conversation, isn't it? Because it's still allowing you that independence and that. Because at the end of the day, how old are you now? I'm rubbish at remembering things.
I turn 21 in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, so you think
So yeah,
you're 21.
terrifying age to be. Yeah.
But you're 20, like that's the thing, isn't it? You're 21, you want to be independent, you want to carry your life, and you want people to know that you're capable of doing that and you're able to do that as well.
Yeah, and some people like would talk to you otherwise, like would talk down to you. Yeah, it's like it's frustrating, if
Yeah.
anything.
Do you think that the difficulties that you've experienced have influenced the path that you've taken since leaving school, like with work or study or in everyday life?
I think it's quite a serious consideration. I think a lot of that only comes into play when you get to uni and it's kind of like you're going a place differently entirely. For example, I when I was looking at unis, Edinburgh really stood out to me. And then I went to Edinburgh for an open day, had all the problems that I've just mentioned. And then at the end of the day, it was like, oh, I've just walked up 600 hills and they're all cobble streets. And
Yeah.
if you know me, you know the two things I hate in this world are hills and cobbled streets. So I decided,
I don't think
honestly,
you're on your own there.
yeah, whoever invented cobble streets, curse be to you.
I'm the
They are evil.
clumsiest person in the world, so I
Yeah, they are
completely
evil.
relate to that.
Yeah. So it was kind of like Edinburgh was kind of like, okay, it's lovely, but that's gonna have to be cut. Um,
Mm.
and it's like it wasn't a major thing in my brain, but it was kind of like, oh, right, okay, like not everyone's had that, and I've ended up in Cornwall. Like that's just as many hills, but I make it work. So I don't quite know what my rationale for that was, but
It's
I'm
just
I'm
not
loving it.
there you go.
Yeah, it's just not cobble streets. They haven't developed them down here yet. So yeah, but also in terms of work, I think it's had more of an effect on part-time work than academia, I'd say.
Yeah.
So it's like I started a job recently, and I'm not usually one to disclose my disability, but I thought, you know what, probably worth it. Um, and they were really receptive, really, really good. Um, their like brand purpose is like inclusivity and all that, and I can really feel it, and that feels really good. And I had done a bit of research on that beforehand, to the point where I was comfortable with it, and like they've made reasonable adjustments and things like that. So it does feel like I want to, at least going forward into work, I want to feel where I can be comfortable and acceptable. Like, it's another
Yeah.
thing to think about. It's not just, a thing on a form sometimes,
No,
putting
it's
in
not a
this
tick box, is
disability.
it? You've got to
Yeah,
really
which,
consider
yeah,
whether
which
they.
some people might call it that, but like, if an employer doesn't mention it or seems really closed off, then that's something to consider.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know here at Bibic we've done a lot of that, haven't we? We've really tried to think about like what is a reasonable adjustment and what is sort of like, we don't want to just say that we're inclusive. We want to ensure that that actually means something. And like you said, you've gone away and done research, and we want to make sure that's the same for us. So that's really interesting to hear that you've done that research and looked into it beforehand and
Yeah,
everything.
no, it's another thing to think about, and you actually did mention another good point there that probably has quite largely impacted me, which is kind of like reasonable adjustments
Mm.
for various things as well. Like, there are some things it's like, is this doable without an adjustment? I'm not sure. Are they going to give it to me? I'm not sure. Is it worth a shot? I'm not sure. Or sometimes they are. They're really open and it's really great. So yeah, that's another thing that's probably impacted me.
Yeah. When you were transitioning from school and into college, or up in uni, were there any supports or tools or like people that helped to make that transition easier?
Uh, yes, there's quite a lot. So in terms of school to university, which is, quite large. My university were very hot on it. I got on disabled students allowance, which has provided me with extra note taking abilities and comprehension things on my laptop, and like, I've got my laptop reads things out to me. It's quite futuristic. It's quite funky, if I want it to be, and it's kind of like, that is something I wouldn't even think about. But I had a meeting with someone a week or two into uni, and he was like, "Look, we want to help you as much as possible." And the uni were really aware of it, and they really pushed disabled students allowance and things like that. So it's kind of like, even as a crazy busy third year student, um, it does. It's still very normal for me to have a crutch on that, because for me it's like, okay, it's the processing that takes half a second longer than perhaps some of my peers. So it's like, that really helps, and I feel really up to speed, and that's a really good way of looking at it. Speaking of my peers, this could be life advice. This could be general life advice. But if you surround yourself with the right people, it becomes so good. Like, I am so lucky to have the friends that I do. And it's like, they understand where I am on it. They understand how acknowledged I want it to be. They're really supportive. A lot of people aren't gonna judge you based off what you think you've got. And it's a lot of it's based in your head. This is some very big truths I'm throwing around, and it's taken me years to come around to these kind of things. But it's kind of like, as soon as you've got one person, that then turns into two. You've then got a small network of people that really want to support you, and that applies for school, that applies for university. And it's like, same goes for teachers as well, I can remember the names and exactly what the teachers did that stood out to me, that took me under their wing. And it's just like, it's a safe space. So like the tool per se, as you say in the question, is like this safe space, because you'd be amazed how much confidence can be bred when you're surrounded by the right people, and confidence like is the way to do it. So like a particular example that stands out to me, this is what, 6 years ago now, which makes me feel a bit older than I perhaps should. We were on a school trip in the Lake District, notoriously very hilly. So fantastic.
What is it with you and heels?
Yeah, no, I always put
I don't
myself in
like
the
hills.
worst. No, I don't. But if it's there,
I'll travel
you
to
know,
all
I'm
locations.
yeah, I'm really stubborn about like, oh, it's a hill. Yeah, let's go up. It's fine. Like wonderful. And then
You're gonna
regretting
tell
it 5 minutes
something.
later.
I did climb a mountain a couple of weeks ago, but I just don't like hills.
Casual. That's very casual. Very nice. Yeah. And it's like, so we were climbing up this huge hill in the Lake District, and because it was a geography trip, we had to collect samples on the way up as well for something like something very useful.
It was 6 years ago. It's all right.
And yeah, yeah. And then I got to the top, and everyone had just climbed a mountain. They've all got their nice sandwiches and they're taking in the views at the top of this mountain. And my geography teacher, who is not the example in this case, goes to me, "Oh, Tom, do you want to go back down straight away, just so you can get down in time?" So I didn't get to acknowledge my achievement. I didn't get to stay. I didn't get to sit down. I got to the top and he turned me right back round to walk straight back down the mountain again. No, I didn't get my sandwich. I got my sandwich when I got back to the hostel. Yeah. So obviously that was quite annoying, but I do a history degree. Guess who was there? And guess what? It was my history teacher, and he stayed with me all the way, and he walked down that mountain with me, and he sat and he listened to my grievances, because I think he got how frustrated I was. I think you can tell how frustrated I was talking about that incident. And, it was me and him walking down this mountain for God knows how long, and I had a really open, fantastic chat with him that I can really remember. And I just think to have that level of openness and with a teacher, and it's kind of like, I know they are sometimes big, scary figures of authority, but they are there for you to listen to you and talk to you. So it's kind of like, that was a real safe space at a time of a lot of frustration. So, use who's around you, because there are some quite lovely people in this world. So yeah, other than those two, there is also Independent Learning Plan, or ILP, which is applied for everything academically. So that means I get extra time in exams to help my processing, and I also get more extensions and more leniency, and there's more understanding on some blunders I might perhaps make as well. I also have this software as a part of that. I think it's just been renamed to Genio, which you can record, and it records your entire lecture or class for you, and then summarizes it into notes. So if you're me, who struggles to take on quite a lot of fast information, which does happen at both school and university, that doesn't change, then it gives me an opportunity to play everything back as well. So
When I went to uni, that would have been so helpful.
yeah, it's amazing. I use it every day. Like that is like my number one survival tool for anything. It is fantastic. So, no, those are all the main tools that I use. And yes, there are all these funky technical tools, but don't forget people are there to help.
I think that's really important to share as well. And I really liked the story that you just provided, because I think we forget, like you said, there's so much technology out, especially now.
Yeah.
Like AI has become a thing, but also like don't forget about the people that are around you. And I think from both sides of it, it's showing all the support that's out there for individuals. Because I think as well, it's a mindful, isn't it, of what actually am I going to be able to access, but also like just having that conversation with that history teacher for you was probably so much more impactful than, I don't know, using some of these tools that you've got, the computer ones.
Yeah, and it's like, it's the kind of thing you can't, it's not the kind of thing you talk to doctors or therapists about. It's just kind of like, for me at least, it's kind of suck it up almost. But it's like he was there.
So if you could give one piece of advice to a student with a physical disability, or even just sort of any difficulties that they're going through, what would you sort of give them? So they're just leaving school and they're going to university, or they're in that point where they're seeking more support. What sort of thing would you advise them, do you think?
That's quite the question. I think kind of on the back of that last one, like, I know it's always scary to make friends. At no point does that get any easier. And I know it's very difficult to, start that dialogue. But I think the thing I would have to say is, don't be scared of it, if anything. Like, what's the worst thing that's going to happen if you just ask or you just start talking? Like, it can open so many doors. So don't be afraid to grasp any opportunities that may come up. Don't be afraid to talk to people. Some of my best mates, I overheard them talking in the pub about something I was into, and now they're my really great support network. So it's like, don't be afraid to interject yourself. If you have self-doubts, they are self-doubts. Like, a lot of people don't think of you quite as harshly, and they don't judge yourself as harshly as you do. So take that into consideration. But yeah, don't feel out of place in yourself. Like, just be as confident as you can be, and who knows what can come up.
I think that's good advice for anyone.
Yeah,
To be honest.
Yeah.
Yes, Tom, you're right. I shouldn't doubt myself.
We were just looking at each other, nodding, going, "Yeah, actually, Tom, you're really right, actually."
Yeah, no, yes, it can be applied to all, definitely. But it's just that extra spice.
Yes. Yes.
And I think that's what's so important, isn't it? Like, no matter what challenges you're having and everything like that, like, we all are our biggest self-critic, and actually those around us support us and don't see us how we see ourselves.
Like, you've got your amazing support network that you said, Tom, which is fantastic. You've got the tools and things to support you, which are out there for others who might have, like, further difficulties.
Yeah. I thought it might be worth, Tom, touching a little bit on the work that you've started doing with Bibic. I know it's sort of a bit of a slow burner at the moment because we're just starting off and it's a whole new role and everything like that. But the youth ambassador stuff, did you want to just say a little bit about sort of your hopes, your plans, or what you're sort of trying to do to support Bibic with that stuff?
So I was interested in Bibic to begin with, as I mentioned in the intro, because I want to be able to give back to everyone that kind of helped me through things. And I've kind of seen the processes. I've seen both the good and the bad, and I think I'm kind of lucky enough to come out the other side. So I think I'm in a very unique position where I can sit here and talk like I am. But I understand that that might not be the same for all. So I kind of want to normalize the process as much as possible, because I know, like, being pulled out of classes or bringing attention to it or anything like that can be very scary. I want to make it approachable and something that's easy to talk about. I want to have fun with it, of course. So that'll be on you two. If I come up with some wacky ideas, you can have fun with all of those. Yeah. But yeah, I just want to basically tell my story and see who that can empower, and try and pick up what I've learned.
I feel like from sort of the stuff you said today, I think you can really hear that and really see sort of that side of it. So we're really excited to sort of work with you more and see what comes of it.
Oh, definitely, yes, and I'm excited about it as well. Like, I get really into things that are related to things that I get passionate about. So, like, causes I get really into. So yeah, can't wait to get stuck in on that.
And then Tom, just finally, just to finish off our podcast, we've really enjoyed speaking to you. If you have a chance to speak directly to schools, employers, or even like city planners, Edinburgh.
Edinburgh can get rid of the cobble streets.
Yeah, cheers, lads. Can you just like unpave your entire city?
Yeah.
That would be
Could you
great.
just do a little, like, an alley just for me?
Oh, that would be so great.
But what's something you wish they understood better about life with a physical disability?
I'd almost say, almost in rebuttal to that, I'd say pulling up all the cobbled streets, that's too complicated. Like, yes, the needs are complex, but the solutions don't need to be. So it's like there are some issues that are so over-engineered and it becomes so frustrating. So it's like, if I was to talk about school, in primary school, I had to go in for an assessment on a weekend, to check that I could swim all right in 2 feet of water, because they were absolutely mortified that I couldn't do anything, and I showed up and I showed them that I could swim, and I may not kick my legs in the same manner, but I can still do it. And it's kind of like, this was a while ago now, so it might have moved on a bit, but it's kind of like it was that over protectedness and that over planning. So I think I say that because I think the more you over plan, the more difficult it does become to integrate, and everything that I've been saying is when it makes you feel like an outsider because so much attention is brought to it. So yeah, I think you should still be free to have your own independence, and seek support, but also like know within yourself what you can do, and really believe in that, and like don't let schools or employers take you for less because of one thing. Like, what you can do. But yeah, speak to city planners, say abolish cobbled streets. Yeah, there's this very large set of stairs in Falmouth where my uni is. It's called Jacob's Ladder, and it's about 200 meters of about nearly 90-degree steps, and it is absolute torture. And I'd like to meet the person whoever came up with those, because that is not good city planning. That's just called, we can build really cool long steps, and that's what the entire town's known for. So yeah, that's overcomplication. And there is a hill, but that's arguably even worse. Like, they've made the hill double it. Like, yeah, you can't win. It's just, that's like...
Think away from this. It's get rid of hills, get rid of steps, get rid of cobbled streets.
Level it all.
Everything level. I'm with you, to be honest.
Yeah, no. But yeah, overcomplicate things. Like people are people. People are pretty amazing and can do some pretty cool things. So
Yeah.
don't treat us like we're stupid.
No, that's such a powerful message, because I think that sometimes does, and I think I'm even a person that's like, you want to support and help so much that actually you kind of make things worse because you do too much, or you do. Yeah.
Trust in yourself and trust the person knows what they can do.
Yeah, but it's like, I know that people that want to help aren't coming from a place of bad. It's just it's a slippery slope, you know?
Yeah. Well, thank you, Tom. That was nice, really enjoyable. Actually, I've learned quite a bit actually. Again, look at us learning stuff.
No, thank you for having me. No, it's always good to talk about this kind of thing, because I also don't usually get the platform. This is a conversation I'd have very briefly and wouldn't go very far. So it's really good to get the opportunity to talk like this as well.
Oh, well, you've said it now, Tom. You're going to be on another podcast, unfortunately.
Go on then, if I have to.
Done it now. You know how it's recorded and everything like that. We'll tie you down for another one soon.
Yeah, awesome.
All right, thank you so much, Tom.
Yes, no, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to The Sensational Life with Bibic. We hope you're leaving with new insights, fresh ideas, and a bit more inspiration than when you press play.
If you've enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to follow or subscribe. And if you have a moment, leave us a review. It really helps us reach more listeners and grow this amazing community.
If you've got a question, a story to share, or a topic you'd love us to cover, we'd love to hear from you. Email us at thesensationallife@bibic.org.uk.
And don't forget to come over and say hello on social media. Follow Bibic to stay up to date with episodes, extras, and maybe some behind the scenes bits.
Until next time, keep it sensational.